Many of us manufacture our own unhappiness. Of course, not all unhappiness is self created, for social conditions are responsible for not a few of our woes. Yet, it is a fact that to a large extent, by our thoughts and attitudes, we distill out of the ingredients of life either happiness or unhappiness for ourselves. 4 people out of 5 are not so happy as they can be, declares an eminent authority, and he adds, unhappiness is the most common state of mind. Whether human happiness strikes as low a level as this, I would hesitate to say, but I do find more people living unhappy lives than I would care to compute. Since a fundamental desire of every human being is for that state of experience called happiness, something should be done about it. Happiness is achievable, and the process for obtaining it is not complicated. Anyone who desires it, who wills it, and who learns and applies the right formula may become a happy person. In a railroad dining car, I sat across from a husband and wife, strangers to me. The lady was expensively dressed, as the 4 diamonds and costume which she wore indicated, but she was having a most unpleasant time with herself. Rather loudly she proclaimed that the car was dingy and draughty, the service abominable, and the food most unpalatable. She complained and fretted about everything. Her husband, on the contrary, was a genial, affable, easygoing man who obviously had the capacity to take things as they came. I thought he seemed a bit embarrassed by his wife's critical attitude and somewhat disappointed too, as he was taking her on this trip for pleasure. To change the conversation, he asked what business I was in, and then said that he was a lawyer. Then he made a big mistake, for with a grin he added, my wife is in the manufacturing business. This was surprising, for she did not seem to be the industrial or executive type. So I asked, what does she manufacture? Unhappiness, he replied. She manufactures her own unhappiness. Despite the icy coolness that settled upon the table following this ill-advised observation, I was grateful for his remark, for it describes exactly what so many people do. They manufacture their own unhappiness. It is a pity too, for there are so many problems created by life itself that dilute our happiness, that it is indeed most foolish to distill further unhappiness with your own mind. How foolish to manufacture personal unhappiness to add to all the other difficulties over which you have little or no control. Rather than to emphasize the manner in which people manufacture their own unhappiness, let us proceed to the formula for putting an end to this misery-producing process. Suffice it to say that we manufacture our unhappiness by thinking unhappy thoughts, by the attitudes which we habitually take, such as the negative feeling that everything is going to turn out badly, or that other people are getting what they do not deserve, and we are failing to get what we do deserve. Our unhappiness is further distilled by saturating the consciousness with feeling of resentment, ill will, and hate. The unhappiness producing process always makes important use of the ingredients of fear and worry. Each of these matters is dealt with elsewhere in this book. We merely want to make the point at the present time and stress it forcefully that a very large proportion of the unhappiness of the average individual is self-manufactured. How then may we proceed to produce not unhappiness but happiness?